good, everybody? It's Los here. Welcome back to the Throne of Positivity, where the first is last and the last is first. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. We're in part 3 of our series of how to change your life right now. The first 2 videos were the power of positivity and the power of tenacity. If you haven't watched those videos yet, I'm gonna leave a card on the video so you can go ahead and click that and watch those prior to these if you want to get the most out of this series. So before we get into the topic of today's video, the power of adversity, I just want to go ahead and take a moment and dedicate a portion of this video to the beautiful people over in Puerto Rico. I have family that's in Rio Piedras, and even though they weren't directly impacted by the earthquake, there are families that have been displaced all over the island of Puerto Rico. If you know anybody from PR, just reach out to them, give them some type of words of encouragement, check on them, see if their family out there in PR is okay. Whatever you can do to help them out in this time of need, I know that they would appreciate it greatly. So for the purposes of this video, I want to go ahead and define the word adversity as the significant resistance that we experience throughout life. Why do I choose to define this word in such a way? According to my own personal philosophy, all the little small occurrences that resist themselves against our purpose do not qualify as adversity. They may be adverse effects. However, I believe we can go ahead and deal with those things accordingly. The reason why I want to go ahead and tackle the greater adversity that we encounter in life is because we can go ahead and utilize that for greater gains. So when dealing with these hard times, I have found that the greater the hard times, the greater the opportunity there is to grow. All right, I think it's important that I should talk about myself now, because you may have questions like, who is this person? Who is Los? Why should I listen to him about adversity, positivity, and tenacity, or any general life tips that I'm trying to present in this video? Like, who is this individual? Why should I care? I'm typically not the type of person to let anybody in. I have several defensive walls built up. I guess you can say I'm the type of person that's extrovertly inverted, because I don't think I belong in any one aspect of being introverted or extroverted, because when I like to be alone, I like to be alone. I love to think deeply and be by myself and ponder like crazy ideas and concepts and just come up with a personal philosophy for life so I can improve every day. I'm just a normal man that's dedicated to that mission of becoming better in every single aspect of who I am as a man. So why do I say I'm extroverted and introverted? Is because I know how to be in a social setting. I'm very adaptable. I know how to go from one group to the next group and be able to communicate with any individual. All it is that I have learned is learning how to speak the language of the person that I'm trying to communicate with. I don't care if you're rich, you're poor, if you come from this background or that background, I know how to communicate with you. Why? Because everybody to me is important except for myself. And not in the sense that I don't value myself, because I understand my intrinsic value. The way that I mean that I don't believe that I'm important necessarily is that in the context of social interaction, I tend to completely eliminate myself from the equation so that I can go ahead and communicate with whoever I'm talking to. If I'm talking to people about some type of specific topic, I just want to listen to you talk. I want to see what's your level of expertise. What are you trying to tell me, and how can I learn? And that's how I've gone throughout life, is with that type of mentality, is like, let me try to watch, observe, and see what people are doing and just apply that to myself. So they say that you're a product of your environment. I agree with that. I think that you are a product of your environment. However, we all have the option and the choice to choose different. Just to get a little bit more personal, because I think that's necessary for us to have this unique dynamic where you would be willing to listen to me. and let down your guard so that you can accept these or contemplate these things that I'm trying to project to you. In the early stages of my life, I would say I had an okay experience. It was great having, you know, a mother and a father in the household where I can have that solid foundation of a family with my siblings. However, my mother and my father, their relationship, it wasn't very productive. They weren't compatible at all. There was a lot of distrust, a lot of sneaky stuff going on, a lot of fights, and it really just tore us apart until I was 11 years old. My mom finally had enough and she just left. We moved from New York to Jersey, from Jersey to PA, and then from PA we moved down to West Orlando and Pine Hills. At the time, my mother, a single mother, came out here, just packed up and left. We only had a few cousins out here, and she did her thing. Like, she really did her thing, as far as taking responsibility for all 5 of us and getting multiple jobs, coming home at the end of her shifts to go ahead and cook for all of us, raise us, and then do the same thing in and out, day in out, for several years. When I moved to Florida, I really shut down. I really shut down and became closed in because I was completely confused. Like, I understood, like, yeah, my father and my mother wasn't compatible. However, it was just like, why are these things happening in my life? I don't understand, like, why they can't just make up and then, you know, do whatever they have to do so that we can move forward as a family. Unfortunately, life is not about, you know, rainbows and sunshine and happy ending every single time. Life is a little bit more brutal than that. In my teenage years, I was just lost, completely gone. I had no identity. Every time that I looked into the mirror, I hated what I saw. I felt empty. I felt ugly. I felt like nobody cared about me. Because my father was in New York, my mother and us, we were in Florida. There was that gap and that expanse. We had no real family in Florida other than our cousins. So I was very confused. I didn't understand why things were transpiring in the way that they were. Why couldn't my parents just reconcile themselves to one another for the sake of their family? These were questions that I never really was able to grasp in those early years of my life. I lived in darkness so long, it became light to me. That tender feeling you get when your heart is in pain, I began to enjoy it. As strange as it may seem, whenever I was in pain, that's what made me realize that I was alive. Like I mattered, that I existed in this world that we live in. And because I existed, I could change. For that simple fact alone, I learned that I can use adversity to my advantage. Adversity was no longer my weakness, it became my strength. Adversity is not about what you avoid, it's about what you face. And if you become a student to what you face rather than a master of it, you're gonna learn that humility is really not weakness. Pride negates us of the opportunity to learn what we can when we go through those rough times. You will be blessed if you remain steadfast under your trials and tribulations. That crown of life will be a reward after you get through those situations. By remaining firm, by being persistent and stubborn, and having the right attitude towards the lesson that is to be learned in these situations that we go through. It is adversity that tests our faith to see if we will stand firm in that which we believe in. Once you pass your trials, you're gonna have this newfound strength that you can utilize in the next adversity that's gonna come up against you. Never forget this. The present sufferings that you are encountering now in your times of adversity are nothing in comparison to the glory of that which you will experience once you get through the storm. Adversity is the flame in which character is formed. It is the foundation of which all aspects of life are built upon. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible and speak from the depths of my soul so that you can connect with me in some type of way. If you like this content, don't forget to hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Next week, we're going to be talking about the power of consistency. We already have the power of positivity for our mind. We have the power of tenacity so that we can move forward, and we have the power of adversity so that we can shape the character that is necessary to change our life right now. That power of consistency is what's going to take us from the beginning all the way to the finish line. I look forward to speaking with you guys next week, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We off this throne of positivity where nobody shall dethrone us.